Hello students. In this video we will start with a new chapter in Science 2, that is Introduction to Biotechnology. Now we will be learning about few of the important terminologies in biotechnologies. Be learning about tissues, about both plants and animal tissues, about tissue culture, that how tissue culture can be done with using biotechnology. We also learning about agri-tourism and agri-business. So now what are tissues? Tissues are a group of cells having the same origin, same structure and same function. Millions of cells are present in the body of us multicellular organism, and these cells are divided into different groups and each group performs a definite function. For example, we have movement in our body, that is the contraction and relaxation of our muscle. Conducting tissues in plants, they transport water and food in all the parts of the body. All functions of the body occur within the efficiency due to specific organization of the cell and also due to division of the work. Now, if you want to talk about tissues, tissues are of two types, that is simple tissues and complex tissues. Simple tissues are made up of only one type of cell, example the epithelial tissue or meristematic in plant. And complex tissue are made up of more than one type of cell, example blood or xylem and phloem. Let us first start with animal tissue. Now in the body of animal, different organs they come together and perform a specific function. Now organs like lung and trachea, with the help of contraction and relaxation of some muscles, they bring about the function of respiration in our body. So different tissues perform different functions in the organs. So according to the different types of functions, tissues can be classified into four types. Let us see what are those four types now. So the animal tissues are divided into four types. First is the epithelial tissue, which is for protection, absorption, secretion and for our sensory organs. Next we have the connective tissue, which is for support and for our immunity. Next is the muscular tissue, third one, which is for movement and locomotion. And the last fourth type is the nervous tissue, which is for conduction of impulses or control and coordination of our body. So these are the four main types of tissue in animals. Now in this main type also, like epithelial also has some more types, connective also has some more types. So we'll be studying about that. So there are six types of epithelial tissue. The first one is squamous epithelium. Now if you look at the picture of squamous epithelium, these are thin, small, these are flat cells and these are also semi-permeable cells, that is they have a semi-permeable membrane. These are located in the esophagus, in the blood vessels and alveoli, which is in our lungs. And the function of these squamous epithelium is for the transport of substances. Second is the stratified epithelium. Now there are many layers of cells which are assigned together. Now these are present in the outer layer of the skin and its function is for prevention of our organs and for protection of our organs. Third is the glandular epithelium. The structure of the glandular epithelium is like vesicles which are packed with secretory materials. In the picture also you can see those brown structures are there which are packed with a secretory material. Now these are present in the inner layer of the cell and that is why it is called as glandular epithelium. Now this is for the secretion of sweat or oil or mucus in our body. Fourth is the columnar epithelium. Now these are like columns, tall cells which are present in our body and these are present in the inner surface of our intestine or also in our alimentary canal. Their function is for secretion of digestive juices, absorption of the nutrients in our body. Fifth is the ciliated epithelium, which you can see yellow and greenish color. So here the upper free surface of the cells bears minute hairs like structures That is why they are called as cilia, that is ciliated. And these are present in the inner surface of our respiratory tract. And it helps to push the mucus and the air forward to keep the air passage free. The sixth one is the cuboidal epithelium. The cells are all cuboidal as it is shown in the picture. These are located in the tubes of the kidney, nephron you can say it as, and also in the salivary gland. Now these tissue helps in reabsorption of the useful materials from urine, and also it helps in the secretion of our saliva. So these are all the 6 types of epithelial tissues. Now our second main type of tissue is the connective tissue. Now these tissue which joins different parts of the body, they are called as connective tissues as they are connecting the different parts of our body. Now cells in this type of tissues, they are loosely arranged with a ground substance in the free space in between them. And the ground substance, it can be solid or it can be liquid or it can be also jelly-like. So there are 7 types of connective tissue. The first one is our blood, which contains erythrocytes, leukocytes, platelets, and also which is present in the liquid plasma. Now these are located in our closed circulatory system and they help for the transport of oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and all the waste material. Next tissue is the lymph. Now this is like a fluid which oozes out of the blood capillaries, and it contains mainly the leukocytes. And these are all around the cells in our body, and it helps for the protection of body from the any type of infections. If any germs comes to attack our skin, it tries to protect our body from that. Third one is the alveolar tissue. Now these are the different loosely arranged tissues. They are also jelly-like substances and also they have elastic fibers. Now these are present in between the skin, the muscles, and also around the blood vessels, and they help to support our internal organs. The fourth one is the adipose tissue. Now these cells, they have filled with fat droplets, and they also have jelly-like substance in it. It is present below the skin and also around our internal organs. Again, it is used for insulation and to supply energy and also for the storage of fats. Fifth is the cartilage. These are cells supported by flexible jelly-like substances. These are present in our nose, ear, larynx and trachea, and they help to lubricate the substances of the bone and give support to shape of our organ. Sixth type is the bone. The osteocytes, they are embedded in solid substances which are made up of calcium phosphate, and its structure is our skeleton. A skeleton, all our bones are made of osteocytes, and it helps to support and protect the different organs, and also it helps in movement of our body. The last is tendons and the ligaments. Now tendons are fibrous, they are strong, they are elastic, whereas ligaments, they are strong and they are highly flexible. Now these are present at our joints. So wherever we have joints, there tendons and ligaments are present. Now tendons, they join muscle to the bone, this you have to remember, and the ligaments join the bones to each other. Our third main type of tissue is muscular tissue. Now muscle fibers and muscular tissues are formed from special type of contractile proteins, and due to this the contraction and relaxation is possible. Now muscular tissues are made up of long cells of muscle fibers, and muscular movement occurs due to this contraction and relaxation of these protein cells. Now there are 3 types of muscular tissues: the striated muscles, non-striated muscles, and the cardiac muscles. Now let us start with striated muscles. The striated muscles are also called as the skeletal muscles as they are attached to the bones, and also they have alternate light and dark bands that you can see. Now these are also voluntary muscles, that is they move according to our will. Now these muscles are bringing about movement in your arms, legs, it helps in running, it helps in speaking, etc. Next is non-striated muscles. Now here the dark and light bands are absent and they are not attached to the bones. Their movement are not under our control, and hence they are called as the involuntary muscles. Now they are present in our alimentary canal, even blood vessels, where you cannot control it. Now the movement of eyelids, passage of food in our alimentary canal, contraction and relaxation of blood vessel are all the function of non-striated muscles. Our last type of muscular tissue is the cardiac muscles. Now here dark and light bands are present. The heart is made up of our cardiac muscle, and it is also involuntary because it is not in our control. It helps in the contraction and relaxation of the heart. So these are all the three main types of muscular tissues. Our fourth main type of tissue is the nervous tissue. Now nervous tissues, they enable us to respond to the stimuli like touch, to sound, to odor or color. If anyone pinches you, the sudden response that you give, that is because of our nervous tissue. Now there are nerve cells which are functioning in our body, which take the impulses to our brain and then sends back the signal, and this is how we respond. So these neurons, they are specially made cells to conduct the impulse from one part of the body to the other. And the cell body which connects the cytoplasm and the nucleus is the main part of each nerve cells. Now there are numerous small branched fibers like dendrites which arise from these cell body, and one of the fibers is extremely long. It is called as the axon. The length of the nerve cell may even be up to 1 meters, and many nerve cells are bound together with the help of the connective tissue to form a nerve. Now, nervous tissue is present in our brain, it is present in our spinal cord, and the network of all these nerves, they spread throughout our body, and they keep on sending the impulses from one part of the body to the other part of the body, and this is how you can feel what is happening in your body. Next is the plant tissues. Now plants being sedentary, most of their tissues are of the types that give support to the plant or where growth of the plant occurs in specific part. So there only these type of tissues are present. Now the tissues of plants are less complicated than the animal tissues. The first type of plant tissue is the meristematic tissue. It is present in only specific parts of the plant where growth occurs. So wherever growth occurs, there the meristematic tissues will be present. Now the cell of meristematic tissue, they contain cytoplasm. It also has a thin cell wall, and these are compactly packed together. The vacuoles are usually absent in these type of cells, and these cells are highly active. To bring about the plant growth is the main function of these meristematic tissue. So all of the part where the meristematic tissue is present, the growth will be happening. The first part of meristematic tissue is the apical meristem. It is present at the tip of the root and also at the tip of the stem. Now this increases the length of the root or of the stem. Next is the intercalary meristem. It is present at the base, usually at the petiole of the leaf and of the branches, and these help in the growth of branches, formation of leaves and flowers. The last is the lateral meristem. These are present at the lateral side of the roots and the stem, and they help to increase the diameter of the root and the stem. Next is the permanent tissues. Now permanent tissues are formed from meristematic tissues only. So after the growth is complete, new cells formed by the division of meristematic tissue, they lose their ability to start to perform the function in some places, and they permanently acquire their shape. They become stable at that place, and these differentiated tissues are now called as the permanent tissues. Now permanent tissues are of two types: simple permanent and complex permanent. Simple permanent tissues are made up of only one type of cells and they perform only one function. Like for example, epidermis. The entire outer surface of the plant is made up of only one layer of cell, which is called as epidermis. So this is called as the permanent tissue, that is the simple permanent tissue. Now the basic types of permanent tissues are three, that is collenchyma, parenchyma and sclerenchyma. Now collenchyma, these are elongated living cells. They are thick. They are present at the base of the leaf or the petiole. These help in support and flexibility of the plant. So these are called as the collenchyma tissues. Next, we have the parenchyma. These are living cells and they have thin cell wall and intercellular space. They are present in all parts like root, stem, leaf, flower and seed, and they help in the support of storage of food and also filling the vacant spaces. Last one is the sclerenchyma. Now these are dead fibrous cells and usually they are tapering at the ends. They are present in the stem. They are also present in the veins of the leaves or the hard coat of the seed. Covering of coconut is made up of sclerenchyma tissue. Now this gives strength and it also gives rigidity to the part of the plant. There are two types of complex permanent tissues also, xylem and phloem. Xylem, it consists of thick walled dead cells, and these cells, they are interconnected uh, and it forms a tube-like structure. It conducts the water and minerals and it only works in the upward direction. Next is the phloem. Phloem consists of the cytoplasm containing the living cells, and these also form tubes which are joined to each other, and it helps in conduction of food in the form of sugar and amino acid from leaf to various parts of the plant, and it works in both upward and downward direction. These are the two types of complex permanent tissues, xylem and phloem.